not been showing that because their team is just like, okay, you get Tide, you get Enigma, but he definitely can play a lot of other heroes as well.
And having that Disruptor too, we already talked about the Enigma versus the Puck, and being able to use that Black Hole with the phase shift, a lot of the same ideas here for the Static Storm. So they've prepared themselves for, once again, the Puck to come out here from Evil Geniuses. I'm sure they're not too surprised.
Speaking of other cores, Sand King is a possibility for KP, but last game, they kind of reached a decision point in the draft when they took that Tide. It seemed like they committed a little bit to Big Old with that pick. I thought another option on the table for them was the Legion Commander. Here there's more in-between tempo that isn't old-based. It also is a threat in lane. It's a bit more durable as well. So if Newbee want to avoid overcommitting, say, to Big Old, which they might have done last game, and they want something that fights better in between, Legion Commander is a viable choice for them.
I would also say for Evil Geniuses too, having that Legion Commander, one of the few off-lane heroes that really seems to synergize well with the Sunray. You know, you're being healed up, your opponent's being damaged, it really helps you out during the duel. That's what they use to allow them to have this Juggernaut and the Storm Spirit too. You know, Juggernaut pretty mobile for a safe lane core. Doesn't do the best with the Sunray. He's often like hopping into an Omni Slash or something. He's not as static as, well, the static linking Razor. You know, he just stands there. You hit him, the DP, she just kind of stands there. But if they aren't able to get that position 1 to capitalize off of that, could look towards the Universe Legion Commander here.
I think it might be a bit soft against Disruptor because when you want LC, you definitely want Press the Attack to be a big turning of the fight. But when somebody gets glimpsed into a Static Storm, Press the Attack has very little value in terms of rescuing that person. We might still see it, but I would not hold my breath for LC.
Kind of funny to see Evil Geniuses banning out to 2 of the best heroes up against the Disruptor, having that natural speed,
that is very
rage
interesting
against the Glimpse.
Yeah. So focus on the Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
To be able to protect that egg.
Well, those answers now won't be available for them. So now Newbee, we have to maybe decide now, is this going to be the KP Sand King, or are we going to get a separate offlane hero for him, and Kaka is going to be able to roam around the map here?
Newbee fans and Chinese fans trying to avoid drinking that chicken soup, as the saying goes. When they come up short in the tournament, always kind words are said afterwards to soothe everyone. Hey, we'll be ready next time. We'll do better next time. We're back to the drawing board. That's called chicken soup in a sense. And Newbee fans, they want to win. And this Newbee team, worth pointing out that they haven't won a foreign land yet with this combination of players. They've done well domestically in China, but they always seem to fall short to the Liquids or EGs.
Is that what you do during your off hours, Cap?
Well, you know, sometimes the world needs saving.
The sad part is that he was comparing himself to Ryan Reynolds earlier.
That is not true at all.
He lies. Anyway,
It's
Ursa,
Bradley
so-
Cooper.
Well, you would know, but you thought anyway.
Newbee's lineup is beginning to look very similar to a lineup that they had versus OG. Disruptor, Ursa, Sand King. Their last filler heroes were Tidehunter and Annie Mage. Now, that time they knew at least what they were going up against. They knew Ember Spirit was in the mid lane. Here, we're not sure. Maybe it's still the Puck mid, maybe it's something else. Can this Ursa actually be just a straight up mid without knowing what your opposing hero is?
I mean, you can put him in, but I don't think that's the preferred. You could start with Poor Man's Shield. He could kind of wear off a lot of that the harassment. Now with the Prophet being picked up, you know what the lanes are. So you could probably pick up a mid hero that deals a little bit better against the Puck. But like I mentioned earlier, Ursa predominantly picked for the egg to kind of blow it up. That's what we saw MP struggle to do in some of the later game situation. And perhaps this is a trap for EG. EG knows that Newbee loves Ursa. Sprout, I'm not sure how reliable is a way to actually track down the Ursa, especially when you can easily pick up a Quality Blade. But maybe EG is going to have harder lockdowns. Maybe a Clockwork support from Zai.
If there's one way to get to that late game, it's probably going to be helped out by the Nature's Prophet universe. Very good on the hero, keeping those lanes out, trying to delay the game. And we saw, even with an Ursa, I don't think there's any way you take down that egg in the later game. You just get levels so quickly on that hero because of the talent, and it's just impossible. You need 15 hits, and that's a lot even for the bear.
Let's talk about a different hero that could have been there to counter the Phoenix, the Troll. Why did we choose Ursa over that other hero?
I think Ursa gives you much more early game ramp-up aggression, which for Newbee, I think that's where they really fell short last game. So perhaps that's a direct implementation of that. And also, I think they just really enjoy the hero perhaps a little bit more. I just see them pick it all the time, whether or not Ursa is in the meta. So
protecting themselves against the early game.
Yeah. I also like it in lane with the Ursa as well. You just need that kinetic field. They use that combination a lot. You just run at them, and unless they're a very survivable hero, something like Nature's Prophet doesn't really fit the bill.
Okay,
Ursa's
real
just gonna
fast.
Run up on you, kill you.
Jack,
Real fast. How fast?
Jack, who's playing the Naga? Is it KP, the Naga god, or SC, the not Naga god?
I don't recall the last time we saw KP actually get the Naga, one of his signature heroes, and SC has been playing it mid, so I would go in the SC direction this game most likely.
All right, who's ready to call it for Evil Geniuses?
I mean, the reason I bring up that question is, yes, that is the case. KP has not been playing the Naga, but I think SC's Naga just pales in comparison to KP. Obviously, KP is the offlane player. I wonder if they're going to do a little bit of lane swap. Maybe this is one of the few games that they actually go aggressive to give KP the safe lane.
Well, since the lanes started to kind of get a little bit more formed from Evil Geniuses, it's now Newbee that have that advantage in terms of what that last pick will be. So I think that option is 100% open.
Right.
We want to really kind of allow that ability. You know, Ursa is also someone who can go aggro, so he can kind of run up there, give that space to KP in the safe lane. That's how they always used to do it, and he manages to find that farm. So I'm not too sure. I'm sure EG will probably just ban out the Tidehunter simply because of the comfort overall.
This is a bit more dynamic draft from Newbee, not as ult dependent to take big fights. Obviously the Ursa, as you mentioned, being able to fight well in those smaller situations earlier, but also on Radiant being able to threaten Roshan, and that puts pressure naturally on Evil Geniuses, who seem to favor a lot of mobility and a lot of like self-sustain in lane in some of their lineups. And then of course with that Naga, if you're not able to constrict the map and force these big team fights, Naga becomes very difficult to deal with these heroes later on.
Is that a Zai Wind Ranger, I believe?
I believe it is.
I'm a fan of the support Wind Ranger. I gotta say, now mind you, support clock is still in, so a little bit interesting considering how popular that hero has been. Maybe performing a lot of the same functions, but
I think the difference is that you want your backline to be unable to be sniped by Ursa. Because when Ursa blinks on your backline, Phoenix could dive out, Windrunner could windrun out. And whereas I think Clockwork, yes, can control the Ursa with the cogs, but defensively you might have trouble surviving against the Ursa. So definitely a very unique look from EG, but I could get behind this.
yeah, certainly. A lot of times, if you're a support who's trying to survive against the bear, you got to get a little bit of farm. You have to find that Ghost Scepter
Right.
somehow, and this is just a much easier solution. So rare for a support to have an actual answer to the Ursa so early in the game.
This is looking like a very fragile lineup from Evil Geniuses. Are you concerned that Newbee could potentially run you over? I mean, for example, they can lead off with the sleep, set up the disruptor and everything else.
And the Ravage.
Even without that, they'll have Blink Dagger on Ursa, Blink and Epicenter on Sand King.
Yeah, just sleep into Storm in itself, or the Disruptor Ultimate. It is very dangerous. And Lone Druid, now we've seen Team Liquid use this hero in the Shanghai finals.
This is a hero that I wondered
don't
about
know.
coming into this day. So
Yeah.
of the 3 remaining teams in this day, Evil Genius is the only one with a long history of frequently using this hero. So with the addition of this hero and the Nature's Prophet and some sustain, they can put together a very early push if they want. Lone Druid obviously has taken numerous nerfs. Maybe the ranged form isn't as viable or is a bit squishy, but the melee form remains potent. It's a difficult hero to gank in lane. It's a hero that becomes difficult to kill early on and can key that push. So look for Evil Geniuses to apply that pressure.
And I believe that is the KP Naga
Oh,
making a
yeah.
glorious return here. Thanks to Alina being handed over to SCCC. We'll see if they switch it up after this. You know, the names perhaps with the Sand King also having some options here. But I'm certainly hoping to see the return of the great KP.
Just to set this out, gentlemen, does this mean we're going to have aggro tri lane, safe lane, KP, and then our mid lane?
Yep.
You could also send a Naga up top with a couple of support, but that's, I think, very unlikely.
Okay. So now that we've seen our lanes kind of play out,
I'm going to go with Newbee again. I like the final pick Lina. Gives them the deep push they need against the early aggression. Gives them the pick off power. And I think Newbee will bounce back here.
I actually like the EG draft. I really like the Lone Druid in the end there. I think Liquid have shown some pretty good games with the hero. And I'm just going to pick them.
I like the EG draft. I think Naga takes a lot longer to come online than she used to. I think there's multiple methods of disruption for the Ursa early on that he won't be able to deal much damage in fights or secure Roshan, so I like the EG draft here.
all right, looks like my 2 panelists at the end are again going to be opposing Lumi's analysis. We're going to go into game number 2, Evil Geniuses versus Newbee.
And can't wait to see how this one will unfold as obviously EG up game 1. Game 2, they look like they've got a very unique draft, a very maneuverable draft as well, but Newbee look like they've also got their comfort zone.
Naga's slow though. I'm worried, especially after last game with the Drow Ranger. They got destroyed.
Yep. But they look like they wanted to counter to the team fight, right? Like that was the obvious thing. Like you were thinking about it, it's like, okay, what we got for counters to the egg? The Ursa is the primary thing, a fantastic thing against it. Then the Prophet came up causing issues with this. So is it again Newbee trying to overcompensate? Do they just lacquer on counter after counter to try and control this team fight?
I I'm not sure if that's the case or they're just completely backing down from the team fights. Naga Siren on KP, we haven't seen this in a very, very long time.
It really is classic, and with that early PMS, you've actually got it on both Mugi as well as KP. Maybe the other question we do have, which may already be answered just by the positioning of the Ursa, is if we actually see the Naga Siren go to, does he have support on that off lane? We're wondering if it's going to be put in the safe lane, and you put the Ursa as the aggressive lane, and now they've actually split up, and the Ursa has headed south. So my question is already answered by them.
Yeah, they're trying to play musical lanes a little bit at the start. I'm just worried about the EG's high ground siege. I think Lone Druid plus the Phoenix is a very good combination. You have the sustain, you have the building hitter, you're not really putting too much at risk. And on top of that, you have all the team fight. I think the synergy in between the Savage Roar and the Dream Coil is ridiculously strong.
So basically, Newbee, they need to come online a lot sooner than what they've been looking to come online before if they're going to try and fight this one. Lina does give you a lot of early burst damage, which is fantastic for SC. Needs to have a lot better laning phase than last time.
They have great egg killers, though, I think is their saving grace for this team fight. All they need is like one good team fight. You can either sleep and then focus down the egg, or you can just use Lina's high attack speed and long range. Same with Ursa's high attack speed.
They're going to try and battle over this rune. KP's going to take some decent damage for it as he does find the bounty rune. Newbee will claim 3 out of the 4, and Ichi very wisely not fighting this one. Kaka wants to. He wants Zai just a little bit further forward, and there it is. With the Thunder Strike, they may have not damage thanks to the Burrow Strike on the run. Zai's in trouble, quick power shot, lets the damage go, and Kaka will spill first blood. The question is, does he get out scot-free? KP back in again with the Riptide. He goes for another Burrow Strike. Kaka, the last attack from Crypt, will find the kill, but they want Arteezy. Cut through the tree lines, continue the run. KP, where's that Riptide? The damage, not enough! 18 HP! The regeneration from the Tango is barely enough to keep the Lone Druid alive, but it will actually be the aggressive maneuver with KP on the offlane plus friends.
Man, you have to be really careful about how you play this top rune against Newbee. They've set so many traps there. Still worth it for them. They did end up getting first blood. Kaka also got a free trip back to the fountain after 2 using both of his studs.
Nice for him, and then adds pressure to the bottom lane. Keep Universe on his toes. Universe does have the boots, but then again, so does Kaka. High movement speed from both of those bottom heroes. And as he's having a lot better time in this mid lane, went for a 1-0-1 build at the start. He's trying to make sure that Samel has to burn through his consumables and slow down that bottle, and that has actually happened. Samel is sending out another one. It's going to be both his circlet as well as the salve coming on the courier.
Yeah, not as easy of a lane for him, for sure. And no Drow aura to upset the balance.
Oh, Universe. Is that slow going to be enough with the Burrow Strike? Nature's Prophet, the tier 1 tower is not safety. And with the aggro switch, Kaka, no. The trees, they're going to kill him. Kaka has to run 21 HP. The tower will hit him, and Kaka will fall. It's a consolation prize. He'll get to take home, go to the board game.
That's a micro right there. That's how you play MP.
Block him in. I'm surprised Mugi didn't just try and kill off one of the treants.
It still would have taken probably too long for them. He also didn't want to take the tower. He can only take the tower for so long. It's only 2 minutes into it.
He just accepted. It's like, okay, Prophet can have the money. Nice shackle from Zai. Locking in KP. Still a lot to get through him. A quick mirror image. There's a lot of KP to fight. He'll get back to the tier 1 tower. The Bears coming in as well. Don't get too close with that. That still worth some decent money. And Arteezy does switch the aggro out. So KP gets forced out of the top lane. Meanwhile, in towards the mid, what do you want first? Courier, Faith will take care of that one, then look for the kill. If you can find it, Samel's taking the tower, and SC, has he got himself one more hit? That's all it will take. The slave Samel dodges with a phase shift. Now support comes in. Mugi gives him a bear.
I can't believe they're getting away with this solo Naga Siren in the off lane. And it's not your typical off-lane hero, but he's done a great job of surviving on his own, while the rest of Newbee don't have to protect him at all.
The consumables arrive to give him even more regeneration on this offlane. So heavy supplies going into the top lane for EG is the one way they're trying to bring KP down, but it's a Naga Siren, difficult to kill, and KP is used to playing this hero in rough situations.
They need more levels in the power shot. The Wind Ranger is so ineffective against the poor Meteor early in the game.
Another quick shackle onto KP. Oh, all that wonderful regeneration he had. All of it's already been burnt from him. Not terrific on that front. Also, just want to flag that mid lane, even though Sumail. Okay, well, here comes your Burrow Strike. Light Strike array from SC. He holds it. Let Sumail just retreat and burn another salve. Still doesn't have that bottle on Sumail. So while his CS is above that of the Lina, he's had to consume so much consumables that he's actually 300 net worth behind SC, even though he's got higher CS.
They have to be careful about overextending into the mid lane. They're trying to put a lot of pressure on Sumail, but keep in mind that the Nature's Prophet is in the game and can easily TP behind and swoop in for a
They're
couple
going
of kills.
up on that top rune. Okay, maybe not fully. Phoenix commits the sprites and Kaka doesn't really want too much of this. He's got the Tranquil Boost and turns around looking towards Zai. Observers and sentries are down. They actually get rid of the counter ward, and Kaka with that Burrow Strike up finds the kill. Universe wants to help out, but Kaka hiding himself inside the Sandstorm. Faith can't move anywhere. Locked in by Bear, and maybe now SC hits the stun onto the Wind Ranger. Not a lot of support to be given, so SC just has to run away. Having the haste room means he can run pretty damn fast. Kaka's even able to regenerate, but now locked inside the Sprout, cuts his way back out again, gets a nice Burrow Strike. The Savage Roar pushing SC away, but KP will arrive. Kaka will fall, so Universe has the double kill, but a double stun onto Arteezy, as well as Universe makes chasing SC very, very difficult. Wants to give more damage, but Sumail will come in just to watch the kill happen. The neutrals are trying to kill off Universe as he's TPing away to safety. But the Nature's Prophet still claims a triple kill.
Yeah, perfect movement from Universe right there. The haste rune just was not enough for SCC to do the damage that he needed to do. He also is only level 4 at the moment, and there was a lot of movement from Kaka in the mid lane, but he's suffering a level just as level 5. Sumail's already level 6, despite having the early death.
Sunray's turned on, Fate's getting a bit of a tan, trying to glimpse away the Phoenix. It doesn't give him enough space. And the Savage Roar, no! Arteezy on 20 HP can back away from Kaka. How many times is this man going to survive on a B-Stick of Life?
Yeah, looks like trines are up if they want to use that. About time to hit that hot pot.
Dream Coil, SC getting caught out. Zai looking for a good Shackle lineup. Maybe not going to be possible. Hits a power shot instead. In comes Moogie. The Shackle, it doesn't properly latch, but still the last hit in. Zai giving its life for the cause. Died, however, before the kill connected onto SC, so doesn't get the experience for it.
Still, they're keeping Lina from hitting level 6. She is just taking forever to get that Laguna play. That would have been so key for her in that top fight.
If only she could get to that. There is one hero who's having himself a fantastic time, however, and that's Moogie. Looking for the early Vlad, so we have to put Roshan on our radar. EG have really good ways to scout it out and also contest Roshan with both Phoenix Puck. The scouting obviously coming from the Prophet and Lone Druid and Wind Ranger. In fact, their scouting is amazing.
The thing about the Ursa in this matchup, though, he can't do anything versus the Wind Ranger. Normally, if you're this big, strong, safe lane carry, you can bully a support that comes to your lane, but Wind Ranger is almost completely immune to this. Yeah, she doesn't have any sort of win run, but Moogie's certainly going to expect it and not going to be able to make huge plays onto him on the bottom lane.
Light Strike Array gonna miss. Sumail able to face shift it out, but then again, the damage may be too much to repair. He's got a lot of life left. A quick orb, there's your face shift, but the Slave from SC is able to connect and Sumail will fall.
Perfectly timed Slave from SCCC. Now finding level 6, they can turn up the heat a little bit more. Ursa getting into that range where he can sneak in Roshan very early, and EG, they do not have the team fight yet to work around the pit. Phoenix is really struggling in terms of levels too. These supports are finding a hard way to get back into this game.
So EG still feeling comfortable with their cause. Like you're talking about the supports having issues. Arteezy able to escape multiple times. Has he lost too much time moving back and forward? Is this Midas timing still going to be good for him?
Definitely not. I think he's okay. He's just had to share the lane with his supports because they need a little bit of babysitting too.
Well, if they can give him a little bit more space, a bit more levels, you like that. SC and Sumail can contest as much as they want to, as Kaka and Faith spend most of their time roaming around, hitting 5 and 4 levels.
It was smart of Sumail to not go for the boots first, though. He went for full defensive and HP item just so that he can survive this burst. His team needs a lot more time. The support still need to get level 6. RTZ is working on his Midas, so they're not likely to help him out in this mid lane, barring the support Wind Ranger.
Moogie is going for Roshan. They're trying to contest this. As you said, EG do not have the team fight just yet, but the Treant goes in. So there's your first little bit of a scout. We hit daytime, so high vision. Mookie gets hit by the power shot as well. He does have that warm advance. We've got a little bit of sustain, but Kaka goes for the Burrow strike. Samael dodges the slave. He needs to get out of this one out. However, Mookie has to stick around. Of course, he has no choice. Shackled up. Can he run away? The Enraged giving him the extra life. Does he actually take the stun? No, he doesn't. Instead, it's Kaka going back in again with the Lagoon and Blade. SC finds the first pick off, and it's going to be Nature's Prophet. But Newbee, they're low. The double shackle will connect, but they can't get closer, EG. They want to. Right now, they're playing ward battles. And they're going to lose that ward battle, but Roshan isn't taken.
The Nature's Prophet also is really good around the Roshan pit. They're sending in, they can just park Treants there. It's not that big of a loss for the Treant, but it's just slowing down Moogie so much. You don't want to die in that position. He didn't die, but he still was not really close to getting Roshan at all.
I'm wondering though if Roshan was even really the objective. If they were just trying to force EG into an unfavorable position, because there was a lot of support there ready to fight.
Ideally, they're still not ready to fight on EG. I don't think the Egg's gonna be that big a deal, but it's still their biggest team fight ultimate that they have on Evil Geniuses.
Well, back to the farm game for Universe. Needs the levels. That level 25 talent's gotta come pretty quickly for him. That's what's gonna happen. Never-ending TPs, and Moogie tries again. Into the pit he goes. Power shot from Zai is able to scout it out. Kaka.
Oh, they have the sleep ready already on KP. They're utilizing the Naga-san very well too. She's like a pretty decent frontliner at this point in the game. Just with the poor man shield, she can tank up a lot of damage.
And Samael really wants to get into this. He's just hit by the slave. He's taken so much damage. His one charges have already been committed.
It's too low. They can just they feel any sort of threat.
Yeah, and there is no threat. Moogie, one poor swipe. Aegis Immortal goes to him. The Bear's coming in to the rear. Wrath of Nature does minimal to almost negligible damage. KP's the only one that really cut the brunt of it.
And their stalling tactics will not work, and they'll have to resort to split pushing for some time to come. Nature's Prophet still working on the drums, and Lone Druid still needs a lot of time. But if you're farming with the Lone Druid, you're also giving a lot of time for the Naga Siren to farm.
And that means that KP, we have to still remember, KP is the third position. This is what Newbee did time and time in the past, where they're just able to get almost 2 1s on the field just because Naga Siren can grab so much farm and have such a huge influence. Then you still have the Ursa and the Lina, the ganking squads, the ones that want to be freed up and not have to worry about their lanes. That's where KP just slips in with the Naga and takes care of the global kind of battle he's going to have with Nature's Prophet, or the potential push opportunities that the Lone Druid could have.
Exactly.
These won't exist.
That's the beauty of their lineup, that the Naga Siren is going to be able to transition out. You don't have this hard team fighter on KP. You don't have him on a Tidehunter, a Sand King, anything like that that's going to have issues split pushing and dealing damage in the late game. You have him on a Naga Siren, which you're completely comfortable about sitting on your side of the map for the next 20, 30 minutes even.
I'm still interested to see just how aggressive Moogie wants to get. He's still trying to complete up his Vlads. His bottom lane gank actually might be possible considering you don't have Burrow Strike available, but he's got 11 1 charges plus Sandstorm, and Universe plus Crit don't really have good ways to control the Sand King. Now, there's more add pressure, but there's so much D-push from Newbee. Because they got these early levels, because Kaka actually feels confident to sit on the lane, he can sit in this bottom lane and continue to farm up while the rest of Newbee do their attack, which is exactly what is happening. Smoke maneuver up to the top lane. They want to kill off RTZ if possible. More importantly, they want to take the T1 tower. Allows them to control so much more of this map. But Arteezy, he's the bonus, and it will be. The wall is up, run in. The Glimpse can not pulling back into the wall, but into the waiting arms of Moogie. No more movement speed. Does he have a roll? The storm, the damage is enough. Enraged up Moogie. One poor swipe, can't reach him. Can't get close enough, and now Moogie's in too deep. He'll die. The Aegis Immortal, however, does give him the second life. Universe wants to control him. The Sprout trying to keep everyone else away. The Shackle will connect, and in comes Samael. High movement, Samael gets a silence. They couldn't song with the Siren. KP's lost, Moogie's lost. SC will join them in the afterlife in just a second, but how many can he bring with him? Bury him with all of his worldly goods. Samael will put him down.
So many missed spells from Newbee right there. The Glimpse pulled him back outside of the kinetic field. The Earth Shock from Ursa just came far too late for them to actually kill him on the spot. There is no level of net on the Naga Siren. 1 point there would have yielded the kill on the Lone Druid, and RTZ has just been escaping by his bare hide.
Yeah, time and time again he's been able to do it. And they have to do something about this, Newbee. But you can see what they did. And I don't think they really had an option with the Glimpse. He was about to go into the Fog of War, and
He was thunderstruck.
Yeah,
at that
actually,
point.
no, they didn't. It's not even a vision problem. You're
They
right.
just wanted to do it as fast as possible so the TP responses wouldn't come. As soon as you get like coiled, the fight's probably over if two people get shackled.
But then it
early
turned
in the
into a
game.
chase. Then the
Yeah.
Ursa had to run into the middle of the EG lineup, and he's not ready to fight. In fact, it looks like Mugi is sick of positioning. He switched off the Vlad and is looking to go directly into the Blink Dagger.
He needs the blink. You can't fight this early without a blink dagger. If they had a blink dagger there, it would have been a super easy kill, but he's just a little bit too underfarmed at the moment. And alternatively, for that top fight, they could have used a Song of the Siren
Bottom
to set
lane.
up.
There's that vision again from the Thunderstrike. I don't think Spade's going to have any kind of problem holding him in position. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, SC's going to fall. Samel able to initiate the Wrath of Nature. Gives him a lot of extra burst damage. They're still only level 1, but level 1's effective enough.
They're rebuffing the early game with the Ursa. They slowed down the Roche enough to the point where he had to just waste a lot of time, and he is falling a little bit behind in terms of farm. He was safe playing free farming for a very long time because NP had left the lane, but now they're losing towers. They've lost an Ursa multiple times. They've lost the Aegis fight.
KP, Song of the Siren's going to be committed. Puck just used his orb. Kaka preps up the epicenter. The Burrow strikes it. Oh no! Cancelled off. He doesn't complete it, and now it's EG. Escaping from what was meant to be the easiest trap ever. Someone put the shields down.
And that's a 7.06 change, where they have the lower radius on the Naga Siren. It scales now, like 1,000, 1,200, and 1,400, and they just... normally, that would have been a slept Wind Ranger with no way to get that shackle, but he didn't push forward enough, just simply, I think, because he wasn't used to that lower radius.
Oh boy.
And in return, they buffed the cooldown a little bit at the early levels, but right there, that was very painful to watch.
Yeah, and it was the greed play as well. He knew what he had to do. The epicenter into the double Burrow strike. This is what kind of needed to happen to make that fight really in favor of Newbee, but put him in a very risky position to do the epicenter. He could have done it from the tree line, but with a Song of the Siren, you just thought you were really comfortable, and now, oh, Kaka, don't forget, for the Newbee watch.
Not too big of a kill for them. They're still trying to buy time for Lone Druid. He really has not been involved in as many of these fights as KP has, and the net worth shows that he is a little bit further ahead. He also is going for the minus, so he's going to start to ramp up very, very soon. 2,000 gold away from the Radiance, and the time is ticking for them. I think they can hit with the Radiance. I think Lone Druid with Radiance is much, much stronger than Naga with Radiance, because you still need 2-3 more items on the Naga side after you find your initial item. But once you get the Lone Druid Radiance, you can start pushing T2s, do Roche yourself, and start taking team fights non-stop.
Do you like that build as well in the Lone Druid with the recent changes going into this Radiance kind of play?
Alternatively, is what, like a Maelstrom build. I don't really favor the man builds on the Bear versus the Ursa. It's Bear versus real Bear.
Well, that tier 1 tower easily belongs to Evil Geniuses. Not a lot Newbee can do to try and stop this apart from go for their own push. That's what they were attempting on bottom. Kark has his blink and will TP out Samael. All for a moment. Yeah, he has a quick little bit of a peek. Will realize that he is alone on this bottom lane.
The seeds of
Unless he moves quickly to catch up to Mugi, who's on full retreat.
warriors of the wood.
And at this point in the game, it's very common for Newbee to get Kaka to create space. He is the Sand King of this game. He is not that close to his 4-step, but he has already completed his Blink Dagger. So they need him to run around, push out creep waves, skip creep waves, and TP out while buying time for the Naga Siren. And this is going to be a struggle for them to deal with the Lone Druid Radiance, but if they can slow down the game, wait for 3 items on each of their cores as opposed to 1 big item, then I think Newbee will slowly start to swing the lead, but they need more time.
They're coming again. Now, this isn't for Roshan. He's still a little bit away from his spawn time. Power shot, trying to scout this out. The Bear's also coming down. But Newbee understand that someone should be up there, but they're actually in the lane. It's Zai showing himself. Crit very close by next to the tree line, and you just finished a full Orchid over on Nature's property. Won't get there in time. Zai deleted from the game.
And without power shot to give them vision of the Roshan pit, they may have to go in there a little bit blind. I guess they still have Illusory Orb and the Treants, but that pick not the greatest for them. Wasn't able to get the T1 tower, wasn't able to claim Roshan, and they'll just have to walk away with their 1 spoil.
So we have 30 seconds until Roshan is up. This is how long Newbee either have to wait or EG has to prepare.
So the way the fight has to go down for EG, they have to initiate when Roshan is at like 30% plus. If it's any lower, they sleep and they retreat to the shrine where EG should be very unwilling to take a fight. So you can't wait for the last moment, wait for a steal. That radius, when you're just sitting around the pit, is going to be impossible to steal.
I'm wondering if it's worthwhile for Newbee to actually hold off doing Roshan. Now, you just got the fresh bloodstone over on the Lina, but the other critical item they still need is the Radiance on KP. Sitting at 4.3k gold, he is rapidly approaching that, but until that range is up, he can't cancel the blink of Sumail. He can't really restrict the movement of EG.
EG also does not have the Radiance of their own on the Lone Druid yet, so I think you're okay with that if you're, if you are, okay, never mind.
Speak of the devil, Radiance literally just arrived.
Yeah, I think at this point you do wait. Once you see that bear pushing out lanes, it's just a no-go for them.
Well, KP just needs the recipe now, so 1350. He's 630 the way through. And it's Evil Geniuses who are coming closer towards Roshan. Continuously scouting with their power shots. They've got tree after tree that Universe can send in. And they smoke, actually. Looking for an opening. There was the Observer Ward that scouted that out. So Newbee are aware that EG are up to something. And they just make a huge circle. Kaka will play King of the Hill. And they're actually going to go for this?
It's very slow. Radiance is just not a great build for taking out Roshan, and they don't have the Medallion or Solar Crest. But
the Radiant Scan didn't pick anything up. There's this perfect Dire Observer Ward just a little bit southwest of the Ancients of Newbee. And because they saw Ursa just starting to prep for battle, he can jump in. Maybe Mugi's happy about this. Like, okay, well, Roshan's down to 2/3 of his life. Have they done a little bit of the hard work for him?
Yeah, that you don't want it at this HP if you're EG. It's way too low for them to fight, and they might just have to concede it.
But the Radiance is still not done for KP. This may be another reason why Newbee are not going after this. KP is having to just continuously farm inside that Radiant jungle. Can't move out to lanes, wants to keep himself hidden, because if he shows himself, EG understand that Newbee aren't committed to Roshan. Of course, this is another way to do it. Have Sumail sit in an Invis rune right on top of Newbee and isolate the two supports. KP's coming in as well, but the Burrow Strike is already started off. Wind Ranger, Zai will fall, but the Dreamcourt catching two into the egg. They're going to burn! Crit is able to do it inside the Nova, tick damage, and they find another one. Sand King a little bit further to the north. Burrow Strikes out, hides on the Sandstorm, but the Sentry Wall is still out. A small little bit of revenge. It's Kaka and Universe the ones to fall. And EG can capitalize by not doing Roshan because RTC can't kill it.
And that was a great kill rune by the Puck there. And two supports sitting right next to each other just begging Sumail to kill them.
And when they knew the initiation position, they wanted Zai down. And this is the influence of that support Wind Ranger they've probably felt throughout the last engagements. They just don't want it.
At least he's going very defensive too. Fair amount of HP and going for the Glimmer will help him versus pretty much all their heroes.
Mugi got the blink. He actually managed to get inside the pit without being scouted out, even though Faith is currently running patrol.
They still have Song though. It's really close to the point where
The
they
power
won't be able
shots
to
are
contest.
Sumail's ult's flying in as well. So Orb on cooldown for a little bit. Universe gonna send his trees in. Fire Strike Array. Roshan's down very low. You have the Enrage and Mugi opens up and got bashed by Roshan. He'll finish it. The Burrow Strike from Kaka just in case anyone was trying to contest them, but the Aegis Immortal remains with the Ursa Warrior.
Lone Druid has been missing from a lot of these fights, but he's still accruing his net worth at a massive pace. He got his Midas Radiance before just the Radiance come out on KP, and KP is going to be transitioning into the 1 very, very shortly. But it still takes some time.
Yep. Crit. Balls of steel on this bottom lane. Going to hang around so he can just push it in again in just a bit.
I think this is a plus GPM game for him.
They're grouping up for smoke. It looks like it. Now, there's no vision from EG in the position of Newbee, but they have their own aggressive Observer Ward, and that aggressive Observer Ward, it actually sees Universe farming. Okay, maybe not exactly the position of Universe, not up that hill, but saw him farming, so Sumail are trying to punish this aggressive maneuver from Newbee. They've caught SC out of position. The Storm, however, is stopping Phoenix from getting the egg off, and the epicenter. Kaka jumps in, the Phoenix will fall. Essie is still just solo battling on the back lines. He wants to live, but Samel finally will get the rift off. And bring down the Lina. Quick Sprout, Moogie trapped in there. That one little space opens for the bear, and only the bear. The power shot connects, and Song of the Siren. Aegis Immortal will trigger, but Disruptor, what do you even do? You don't have an ultimate to help out. They have to trigger off the shrine and hope EG try and find them as they're actually regenerating up. Burrow strike in, Lone Druid's in too far. Zai can't do anything, he's trapped inside the wall as well. Samael trying to help out. The power shot's not enough damage. Lina has the wand charges, will end up surviving. Samael, the light strike array, he dodges it with a face shift, jumping down. They need another Burrow strike, it'll come in, but it's too late. SC's already fallen. Universe will join the line of the dead. Moogie wants another kill. 4 seconds till blink is 4 seconds too long as Samael will orb jaunt himself to safety.
He's had so much freedom to roam around in these fights. And that was a great read by EG, thinking that Naga Siren was going to TP back all the way home, and everyone else on Newbee was at the shrine. If he had TP to the shrine, they could have taken the fight with the extra damage from the Radiance, but when you're a Naga Siren, your natural instinct is to sleep and then either TP to a lane or TP back home, not to that shrine that was so close to them at that point.
Ooh. This game, a lot closer than game one. Oh, that was very hard. 18-18 and only like 1,000 gold the difference between the two teams. Still, both teams have a lot of things to play with. The split push is still strong with both sides. The initiation and burst damage also doing the same, and we can have a quick look at this fight once more.
The sleep also just came a tiny bit too late to save the Ursa. And it looks like he was holding his enrage a little bit until afterwards, but he TPs back to the base. Everyone else goes to the shrine, and it looks like Newbee have the better positioning at the top, but then you see the flank come around from the south side. Sumail just gets burst after burst on these key Newbee heroes.
And it's this influence of Universe as well. We cannot forget the Nature's Prophet. He's always that one hero, which we say in the past of, you had that extra person in every single fight, be it through the burst damage from the Wrath of Nature or just him TPing in. And the power of Sprout, Newbee are having a hard time playing around it. They cut through one tree, but one tree is not enough. EG plugged the leak very quickly, and it's normally with a damage dealer of their own like the Lone Druid there.
And I don't even think like cutting one tree is going to be enough. They're going to need multiple Force Staffs. Kaka already has one, but Faith, ideally you want to get like a Scepter or something else.
He's going for Kalima.
Yeah. But they're struggling with the items.
Yeah.
Soon. Phoenix will be fine because he's close to the bottom, but he's going to have Midas soon, and he also has a GPM talent at 15. So once he hits that point, he'll be caught up to where like Kaka is perhaps a few minutes into the game, but it's going to be problematic for the Disruptor to get anything.
Yeah, that's maybe when they rely more on SC. And we see SC as well with only 6 Bloodstone charges having the Yule Scepter, but it's the Shadow Blade build he's looking for. The ability to track somebody down inside of a lane, and EG doing a lot of that split pushing. We're talking about Phoenix on the bottom lane. Nature's Prophet also loves to do it. And he's a very quick and simple pick-off for SC if you can just get that initial Yule Scepter off. And the Shadow Blade puts him in position to do so.
And I'll also put him in a position to perhaps stun Sumail before he can phase shift.
Oh, crit's too close. The smoke's gonna break. Kaka sees it. The Burrow strike. It doesn't connect. Icarus dive just in time. Crit makes a break for the tree line. TP's out. And Kaka, well, he had a guess of one, but they won't find him. Even with the wall up, Crit will escape.
And he uses Midas right before.
It's efficiency.
That's the name of the game that they need to play right now. I don't think they can end the game now that like Ursa has gotten ages after ages. This early game hasn't really gotten as EG has expected. I think they expected to be able to hold on to the Roches for much later, but now that 2 have already been slain, EG have to play for the long game. And I think they thought their stalling tactics weren't going to be good enough.
Oh, Kaka preps the epicenter. Wait, hang on. That doesn't look right. It was a little too early. It still will be enough damage as the Style 4 staff will kill off the Nature's Prophet.
Yep, second cancel epicenter. That one, player error, but...
Samael gets a Dream Call over an SC, and they're going to couple it all together. The Storm can be thrown down, but it just reveals his position. Disrupted the TP out. There's no stun. Shackle still being on cooldown. But a very quick rebuttal for the death of the Nature's Prophet from EG.
You do not want your Lina to be position 3 though. She has died a lot. Her Bloodstone charges are minimal at this point, and she has very little armor and can just get jumped with ease. She's not that offensive powerhouse that you need. She needs to be able to like stand there, right click the egg, throw out multiple stuns, but she's just getting jumped constantly.
You said it yourself, man. KP transitions himself into that one position.
You don't want to have to rely on him, though. This is a bad spot for you where it's only the Naga Siren. Illusion Split Pushers can only do so much. You still need to win the team fights.
It buys you time. Like, that's got to be it, right? Like,
Yep.
It just buys you time with the split push kicking in. Like, yeah, Nature's Prophet's pushing in the lane, so is Lone Druid, but eventually KP will have that better burst initiation. Even though the team fight control is better for EG, KP Newbee seem to have the better way to just get that simple pick off. And is that maybe when we start thinking about like how EG approach the next bit of the game? You're starting to build up these items. How do they invade into Newbee's side of the river?
I think they just play more efficiently. They don't have to invade so deeply. They just need to prevent someone from getting bursted down by the Ursa and the Sand King and the Lina. They have all this like straight up upfront burst. If they can prevent that from happening, they will steamroll them in the fights. And Lone Druid is still farming, and he hasn't been in many of these fights. Once he actually starts joining the fights, he should devastate them.
Kaka, be careful. He's not triggering off the smoke just yet. We are during nighttime, so we just Burrow Strike to slow down the bear. Nice little rune as well for SC. He's going to find a double damage rune before this engagement, and EG do want it. They are smoked up. They want to fight. KP's actually the closest to them.
Claiming this position, though, makes it difficult for EG to go up there.
It's still too early for Roshan. 30 seconds before his potential spawn time.
Yeah.
So Newbee don't want to wait around here. Instead, they push the tier 2 tower, and this will end up being trade for trade. EG revealed their position as both teams move to the opposite sides of the map.
I think base racing versus EG is a huge mistake. The Lone Druid Bear and the Nature's Prophet Trees, not only do they have a ton of damage, they also have a ton of mobility. Nature's Prophet can split push like 2-3 lanes at once, whereas Newbee, they don't have any BOTs, they have very little TPs, and they don't have great split push before Naga Siren gets really, really big, and she's still not at that point yet.
That's why they turned it into a tier 2 tower trade only. Don't even think about the base race kind of option. Instead, look towards Roshan. By taking out the tier 2 tower, they at least stop, well, I don't really stop the TP support, but of course the position of the shrine. But they open up the Dire jungle a lot more where EG don't have a lot of vision and easy support and control of momentum. They'll have to wait another 45 seconds for Roshan.
It should be enough for them at least to get the lanes pushed out. I think KP needs to be the one to push out the lanes, and then Lina can farm in the jungle because you don't really care if an illusion dies, but you can't have SCCC out there to die before the team fights happen.
I'm wondering if this is going to be worthwhile starting to hunt the bear when it does this. Epicenter, yep, it is. Kaka just far enough away, he's able to blink, and they Lakuta blade down this bear. It is the easier thing to kill, and having it on cooldown for 2 minutes before Roshan's coming up, a nice thing.
And it's the melee bear build where you have the radius and the AC on the bear, so this bear is worth way more than normal for them. And I wonder if RTZ is going to go for the defensive bear talents. We see plus 50 spirit bear damage, might need the magic resistance or the armor later. I'm not sure which, probably armor I suppose.
All right, we're sitting on the eternal spawn time of Roshan. A wonderful analog clock that says 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. We're able to finish up his bash before this as well. Same for Puck's Dagon. So Sumail looking for that real burst damage.
It's also really good at dealing with the illusions. So now heroes like Puck have a way better chance of dealing with the illusions ever since the Dagon buff. We haven't really seen it come too much into play in professional Dota since 7.06, but in this particular game, Puck can push something very
Oh, Burrow Strike and Laguna Blade. Zai's gonna fall, and what a good time for it. Roshan just spawned up and Ursa just started on it. The fact that this SK and Lina are able to get such a pick forces EG into a defensive position, and Newbee, with an Aegis Immortal, a fresh BKB on Mugi, they can start to fight against EG in a favorable position.
Newbee have just done an excellent job of controlling the pit. Like every single time, it just seems like EG has no chance and no business being around that pit. They're just simply wasting their time. They might waste a little bit of Ursa's time in the time being, but he's still getting the Aegis and still feeding continual cheeses on the side of Newbee. And that will be another way to buff up SCCC to make sure that he gets more and more bloodstone charges. Just keep on giving him cheese after cheese so that he can live.
Moving down to the bottom lane, Newbee. SC's in the neighborhood, Sumail just used his orb, so maneuverability has to come from Blink Dagger.
He's trying to get 25 ASAP. It's that sort of game where you just need tons and tons and tons of gold. And you can feed more than 5 heroes move charge this game. You can give one to the bear, I think? Can you give one to the bear? I'm not sure.
That's a good question.
We could see, what, 14 slotted at some point, if you can.
Well, when Meme Gold 420 does pick up for the puck, we can see anything you want to.
I don't see why not. You give it to the bear.
It
Never
makes sense.
been that rich.
It makes sense he should be able to consume it himself, but I don't know if he's able to trigger it onto the bear as opposed to just trigger it onto a hero. That'd be the question mark. Either way, that's a long way down the road for this game.
Puck's fairly close to 25. He's at 21 already. And it's not that far into the game. And this 25 is, I think, going to make a big difference because this game is not likely going to end anytime soon. He's still likely 20 plus minutes on it. So he can get, I don't know, multiple tens of thousands of gold from that talent, potentially.
Well, aggression up on the top lane. Should note as well, there is a gem being picked up over on Kaka. So at least they can get rid of any kind of vision which EG may have against them. That was one big thing to take out from game 1, the superiority of EG's vision game. In this game, it's a lot different. They have aggressive observer wards, one sitting inside the shrine, in fact, next to the Ancients. And the other one's down next to the tower. But both of these wards were planted a long time ago and will time out shortly.
Yeah, now you have to consider as the lesser core heroes whether or not you want to transition into late game. Like as the Wind Ranger, do you want to still keep going defensive items, or do you want to get like Maelstrom Scepter so you can contribute to the damage? If you're the Disruptor, do you buy a Midas at this point? Do you expect to get value out of it, or do you just go straight for the Axe in hopes that the game is going to end in a timely manner where the Midas wouldn't have paid off? And maybe like Lena needs to start transitioning to a right-click build because there has just not been that much fighting for them going on right now, and it's still going to be quite some more time for the Naga Siren to be 6-slotted.
I'm wondering how good SC's sense is here. Samael is hiding from them, trying to continue to force out the bottom lane. And yeah, Samael's not going to take the risk. He's leaving. TP's back to the tier 2 tower, understands it's the bottom tower that Newbee are looking to push against. Fresh Observer Ward up on the hillside. They have really good vision here. So if EG want to fight, they are not going to be in a favorable position. And they're not. Arteezy is pushing in the top lane, trying to find that money for his Aghanim Scepter. Let the bear do all the push work for him. While Lone Druid just has drinks on the beach.
I'm surprised that he's going for the Scepter so early. Normally that's when you have like such a lead on the game that you just need that extra person and extra lane, but I don't actually think they're strong enough to fight 5-on-5 right now.
Maybe they're trying to force that situation you're talking about, the trade-off kind of situation. Let Universe work with, well, Universe can work with them as long as all the BKB has to burn it to survive. Instead, barely missing him before the TP completes. Boogie once more, a quick Icarus dive will give Crit the distance he needs to survive. And they're wasting more and more time with this Aegis the Immortal. But having the Aghanim Scepter, at least the bear can fight with the Nature's Prophet without putting Arteezy himself at risk.
Just begging them to Epicenter and Laguna, however, more and more often.
He can buy it now if he wants to, but it will sacrifice his buyback.
He has actually gone for the magic resistance talent. So his bear,
Middle
Ursa, I guess, is your main issue at this point, but it will fare very well versus Naga Siren and the rest of the Newbee lineup.
Bear is life.
Bear's love.
10 again, bear on bear action as the Ursa versus the Druid bear.
Just wait till Arteezy gets in melee form.
It's the fighting pits. That's not fair. You can't have 2-on-1 in a bear-bear fight.
I don't even think he's been in melee form this game. No point really for him.
SC's on the run. He doesn't actually have a quick maneuverability forward. Instead it's the Shadow Blade. They're going to see Samael and Crit, or will they? No, they got up the hill. There was no vision. So they have to wrap around the back. Aegis Immortal just timed out. Then Samael into the tree line, starts his own TP. Do they get any level of vision? SC hits the Light Strike Array on the Crit. Icarus dive is still available. A quick Yule Scepter up, mistiming it. Kaka went for the Burrow Strike, so Faith must commit the Storm in order to bring down Crit, who is dead for 50 seconds with no buyback. But Bear doing bear things, pushing in the top lane, and they're forced to retreat. Burrow strike and do as much damage as you can. Keep that bear in position. SC arriving. A quick ensnare. And this bear does not stand a chance. He will go down. Even more and more critical things like Arteezy, the fact he does lose this, resummons. We got to watch that respawn timer on Arteezy if he puts more and more into the bear.
Yeah, I wonder if he actually considers getting any sort of cooldown reduction to deal with that. But you can tell what type of game it is. This is going to be already coming up from RTZ. He also took the glyph timer in the chat, so he's very cognizant of when and where he can take down these T3s. And it's going to be important timing for him to be able to sneak these in. A simple Yules onto the bear is going to be devastating for him. That should be enough. I don't actually know after the magic resistance if it's enough to proc the return. It should be, though.
Bears in the bottom lane. Faith puts up the defensive wall, keep that bear out, and just TP to safety. Savage Roar was not positioned to cancel the TPs, and Zion Universe will find nothing on the bottom lane. And instead it's the top lane that continuously gets pushed in. That's giving more and more space for Kaka. Still trying to complete up his own Aghanim Scepter. SC, I think he's been sitting on 6 Bloodstone charges for the last maybe 20 minutes.
Don't need respawn time if you don't die.
That's a good way to look at it. Can't have a respawn timer anyway, they all got deleted.
Invisibility.
Bloodstone more powerful now? OP? Wow,
I saw what Black did with the Bloodstone. Yeah,
wow,
it's OP.
He's going for a fighting build with the Diffusal. I expected him to go more for like Radiance or Heart for more farming, but with the Diffusal build, they actually look to fight very, very soon, or perhaps he thinks it's very good versus the Rabbit on the Bear, which does remove a lot of its damage.
Yeah. He's still looking for the butterfly by the looks of it. There's a Talisman of Evasion sitting in KP's quick buy. Doesn't make much more sense to go any other item.
I think they want to go soon before Ursa gets peaked, though. If you wait too long, yeah, the Naga gets stronger, but like the Ursa gets weaker and weaker as the time goes on. And this just might be the sweet spot for them where Naga is at her peak, and this is before the Ursa starts to fall off heavily.
The danger zone is Roshan could potentially spawn up in just a couple of seconds. So if the fight is lost, it could be a lot of momentum swinging the other way.
That's okay, you have GPM talents on everyone.
That is...
Sand King, Phoenix, both picked it up.
Just go full defense as well. KP's getting money off the rest of the map. Burrow strike down the bottom lane, catching him in Fizz, but it goes to the Gem of True Sight. That's why Universe can't run 70 seconds without a buyback, actually willingly spending his money at the end there to give up his buyback and move closer and closer towards that Bloodthorn.
This is good for Newbee in the sense that they have more and more heroes that can start dealing with the split pushers. You have the Shadowblade Lina, you have the Blink Yules Sand King, you have the Naga who can stop BKB TP, you have the Ursa who can also stop BKB TP with the Basher. So EG, they don't really feel safe throwing bodies at the T2s or the T3s because they know they're not going to get away with it.
Here we go again. Up to number 4. Hello, Bear. Goodbye, Bear. Sandstorm keeps the damage. You can't return through this one, so he turns around, but Newbee bringing all the damage, and SC showing off the Shiva's Guard animation.
And losing Bear after Bear does not bode well. You never want to take a fight with your Bear when it's 2 minutes away.
Yeah, this is the worst time as well, right? Because now you get the Aegis and another cheese into the hands of Newbee. You've already got one on SC, so they can start stacking these things up. And then if you do lose the Bear on the push, you lose all of that power from the Lone Druid. Buyback won't matter at that point.
Yeah, at some point he may need to just dump him on himself and just start right-clicking, but then you're not, and then you just split push with the Bear without any items. This Bear still does a fair amount of damage if you just battle cry it onto the side, but I'm not really sure which way he wants to take it, but that's...
Fire Strike again, are they really gonna lose this? This is the second Bear, there won't be another one for another 100 seconds. The Savage Roar out, but he can't return it. The damage from range is still enough, and they're gonna allow SC to finish the job, so no Bear for Arteezy and a big window of opportunity. 2 cheeses, 1 Aegis, no Bear.
I think they have everything that they need, and without the Bear to split push, they're not going to be able to threaten the T3s in time. Looks like Nagasiren has come back. She does have the very low cooldown with the BOTs and the Octarine, so she can be back in the fight in 20 seconds. Not this wave, perhaps, but the next wave coming out. And yeah, they don't have to worry about any cheese. Normally you're like, oh god, if we lose this fight, then Lone Drew is just going to destroy our racks or our T3s and our base will be in shambles. But right now, they can push on with ease.
Yep, and SC's your damage dealer. Sitting out of range of the tower, lets Moogie give him the vision up the hill. Fortification has already been burnt by EG, and the tier 3 tower is just slowly going down. It's like SC is finally just happy to back off a little bit further, wait for the next creep wave to arrive. TZ's trying to keep that top lane out, but Naga Illusion's keeping all the lanes pressured. The power shot's not enough to kill off the creep wave, so when it comes again, Moogie to the front lines, and the target that EG do not want to have. They're looking for the back lines. Oh, my Yule Scepter! It caught the punt. He doesn't actually have patience. Caught inside it. He'll actually bring down Samael. 90 seconds without him. And this is the opening that Newbee wanted. Push back in again. Oh, the bear came back to life. But will it be enough? The BKB from Moogie. KP, Song of the Siren. Universe is protected by his own BKB. They'll force-staff him away. They want to go for more. Crit being pushed forward, but he won't be able to reach anyone from Newbee. Faith is the closest. Starts his TP, but they won't know what the Savage Roar. He would have had to blindly do it up the hill to cancel that TP. Won't happen.
They, I think, missed their timing with the bear, however. He was free farming for most of the game, but he just hasn't been able to put any of his net worth to use. They got a little bit of damage on that T3 on top, but is that really worth just the Axe Scepter upgrade for him? He could have been much stronger for these team fights, perhaps, if he didn't go for the Axe Scepter, but now they have no fight left in them, and the split push has been quelled by all of Newbee's efforts. This is problematic for them. They also just kited the egg. Universe was a sole hero hitting because of his BKB, but it's just a Nature's Prophet. And he didn't go for like an early Maelstrom. He had to build a lot of defensive items on his Nature's Prophet.
This just got even rougher. TZ actually took the Monkey King bar out of his quick buy to try and get a BKB for himself or either the bear.
Probably the bear.
But the butterfly just got completed onto KP. So direct attacking has become more and more troublesome. Everything else is straight disable from EG.
And now it's EG that need more time. They just hit level
found
25.
the bear again. Kill it off. There's another bear respawn up in 21 seconds. So it's not the end of the world, but it means there will only be one bear for this fight.
It's the beginning of the end, though, Toby. It's the Doomsayer.
Send the Nagas forward. Let the illusions do the work, and then SC hit from the back lines. Bit by bit, they will siege up EG and choke them out.
You have to deal with SEC. Look how far away he's attacking from. He's below the cliff, below the high ground.
It's hilarious too. He's moving in, and what are you going to do? You're going to send the bear forward? SC's just going to Yule Scepter it, and they potentially then lose the bear again.
And that's the range rack instead.
Yep. Keep the buffs up. Keep the pressure on. Naga's taking care of the sidelines without having to even leave the mid lane.
And if they really wanted to be cheeky, they could like sleep and then go for one of the sides that they wanted to. But Newbee disengaging at will.
Yeah, they're like, you try to initiate on the Disruptor, he's got a point booster and an Ogre Club. Like 1700 life, they don't have the damage that can reach him. Samael wants to. Samael has that level 5 Dagon. He has burst damage available. The issue is he can't put it in without risking getting caught out by the rest of the Newbee lineup. One stun is all it will take.
Yeah, they have no save for him. Maybe potentially you can get like a Phoenix.
The shackle, it's nice on Kaka. He's the gem carrier. Yule Scepter defensively up, still has his 4-star. Burrow Strike's a long way away. Moving about 1/6 of the map with those two abilities.
And the way that Newbee are just protecting each other and protecting their towers is just making it incredibly difficult for EG to get any
Universe.
sort of edge.
He ran into Kaka. Oh, Kaka! He missed the Burrow Strike. The Orchid is on him. He'll move around the tree lines. A quick Yule Scepter up. At least dispels off the damage that will come out from the Orchid. Kaka needs to keep moving out of that Sun Ray damage area. He does get free, and it's Universe under the cover of the BKB. Doesn't connect it from the physical damage, and SC already has the attack speed. They want to kill off the egg, and they've got it. SC is the double kill. He will die, however. Samael's Dagon brought him down for just shy of 1,000 gold. Going into the puck, it's not like 420 is already giving him enough. He'll take an extra grand.
Yeah, and that is already Dagon 5 for him, and he's pushing forward. Lena, not enough Bloodstone charges to push onwards without the Nature's Prophet and the Phoenix up on the other side. But still, now Universe is in that position where, yeah, he can BKB, but he still has to run away.
You can see them wanting to fight. 2 heroes down, even if you force the buybacks. You've got the economical advantage of about 12,000 going the way of Newbee, but you can always chip away at a little bit more, not to mention putting that 7-minute buyback timer on cooldown.
No Abyssal yet on Ursa. It'd be a very good jump for him if he had Abyssal, but without it, it's just not guaranteed.
There's your jump, goes in. You won't need the guarantee. Zai just gets shredded. Karka in a little bit too deep underneath the Sentry Ward. Savage Roar won't free him out. Moogie has the protection of his own BKB. Now that it wears off, maybe a little bit more cautious. Still the buybacks from EG didn't have to be committed.
Look at these yellow dots swarming the map.
I don't know if that was fully intentional. They burned the fortification when it was only illusions on the front line. Attacking in, the tier 3 town's a little bit low. But now SC is free to attack into that melee racks in the mid. Everyone's hovering around. Zai's shackle shot is not alive, mainly because he is not.
The illusions, just non-stop, just everywhere in their
Oh, Burrow Strike, it connected on the Phoenix, but it's more importantly creating space for SC. He's holding onto cheese of his own. They bring down the mid racks. So Newbee, they already have the momentum of the side lanes going their way with the Naga Siren, but with the mid lane pushing in, it just got a hell of a lot easier.
And now EG have to reconsider how are they going to take a fight. They can't even take a fight on the high ground. Do you expect them to smoke around and try and contest this next Roche? Every single Roche has gone Newbee's way.
Oh, they're smoking, but the Observer Ward sitting inside the base, the Sentry Ward of EG didn't see it. So Newbee are aware that no one is home in EG. The lights may be on. EG were hoping Roshan is there, but they've got another 24 seconds before Roshan should be spawning up. And EG, they find their target with a Burrow Strike in and out. Karka, a quick retreat. The egg is being committed, but no one from Newbee is forced to fight. SC's back under the cover of his own tower, attacking into the Lone Druid's bear. KP wants to fight. Oh, he put the arms up. He's baiting Song of the Siren. He did it twice and then pulled out. And now it's Crit. Called out. Laguna Blade. The damage. One charges is allowing Crit just alive to survive. But on the back lines, it's all about the Ursa as well as combination with Faith. They've brought down 2. They're going to get another one. And that may have been the last roll. The dice here for EG. Samael's on the run. A quick join away, but SC's movement speed. The Slave won't reach him, but he's keeping the Fiery Soul stacks up. The day gone. SC is low. Samael's got the speed. Speedy Gonzalez versus Sonic at the moment, and both can't catch each other.
That Dagon turnaround just made SE.
Wait, is KP reaching him? He triggers Song of the Siren. He was getting regeneration from the Octarine. He realized he was in range of Samael putting the Blink Dagger on cooldown, so they wait for SC. Too early on the Burrow Strike. The Light Strike array as well. Samael, where's your freedom? You'll step the up. They both spin it round, and then the escape. Samael keeps running and goes for the TP. Burrow Strike from Karka barely misses on the side. Samael will return home to tell of his tale.
He's trying his best to keep him in the game, but Rax under siege. EG just have no strong heroes aside from Samael. No one can really do anything to
They're
them.
locking him down. Universe wants to fight. He's looking for Moogie. Triggers off the BKB from both of them. Zion, the focus fire. It may be enough when the bash from the bear is able to hit. They root up the Ursa. But then again, Lone Druid also instead controlled the Burrow Strike from Karka. Catching 2. Lone Druid, Arteezy. He's falling. He's fallen. He's down. Samael wants back in again. Another Yule Scepter. They're trying to lay it with SC. Samael has to also avoid. Everyone's just spinning it up in the clouds. More buybacks. Moogie's got himself a double kill. They have to keep the pressure on, however. Newbee push into the base. Punish these buybacks if it's possible. As they are fighting 4-on-4, the Burrow Strike hits perfectly, catching Zion the tree lines. They don't see him yet, now they do. Moogie has his triple kill. The Orchid, the silence is there, but KP, does he actually pop? No, Ursa will survive this. No, he doesn't. The Phoenix Egg, it burned him down. KP will TP away to safety. Meanwhile, Karka, well, he'll go into the tree, stay where it's safe, and he doesn't get disabled in time. Samael needed vision to get the Yule Scepter off, but Newbee, they get out, they force the buyback. Still lost a little bit, but EG are still only 1 racks down.
It's still a pretty decent hole for them. They went for the bear, but because he had the Ags, they still had to kind of kill the Lone Druid.
Oh, this is
twice
cocky.
that fight.
This is cocky from Universe.
They have good vision around the pit, however, and Sand King did have to go all the way back home, and he's not going to be able to deal
Oh, that would have been nice. Double damage rune. The Observer Ward saw it get picked up. They're pinging heavily, and Karka's gem reveals the Observer Ward. So he'll jump up, he'll take the ward.
No room for Quelling Blaze this late.
It's Universe, he's waiting for it. KP's close. It's like with double damage, you want to go in for Roshan. But Zai right now can't even kill off an illusion when he's defending the base.
Time to pick up more Dagons?
If you've got the money.
If only she had a GPM talent.
Samael at the moment's going in for Octarine as his next item.
Will, I think, improve his damage output the most by being able to just constantly dag on more and more people. However, he will have to sell the Veil for it.
They're coming.
And the last hurrah perhaps from EG as they try and go for the pit. There is no Ursa at this fight, however.
The final roll of the dice, what do they find? Karka finds himself a Burrow Strike, quick blink away, does get silenced. Samael wants to get the initiation off. That silence on Sand King lasts a long time, but they still haven't found the damage, EG. For all the control they want to provide, they haven't found the opportunity, and Samael gets out of the wall in time. Faith might be in trouble. Universe trying to beat him down, but on the back lines again, it's going to be your Ursa doing the work. You've lost 2 already for EG, both without buyback. They turn their attention towards the bear where Savage draws them out, but it's SC, the cannon on the back line, just incapable of being touched by EG. Lone Druid can be stunned up. SC commits up to Laguna Blade, and in comes Karka. The epicenter. It was the last couple of pulses, but the last is enough. EG will call GG and level the series up 1-1. Newbee shall do with that fight.
A big mistake by EG not being able to control the Roshan pit at all. It just kept getting worse and worse for them. They got vision of the Ursa doing the road, but there was no way for them to stop. I think the Phoenix was a little bit too slow in getting level 6 because of the shenanigans in the top lane dealing with the KP and Naga Siren. And you ideally be able to split push a lot with the Nature's Prophet and the Bear, but they didn't even get close to breaking a rat.
No, they kept getting pushed. KP was all over it. He had the lanes going out. SK's a great counter pusher himself. All these things just started working really, really well for Newbee. And that means they get to level up the series, and we have ourselves a real series on our hands. No whitewash, which might have been the fear of everyone watching game number 1. But game number 3 is not too far away. I would love to see what's coming up.
Evil Geniuses taking game number 1 with the Drow Ranger, trying different kind of push strategy in game number 2, but find a rebuttal in the Naga Siren. Newbee evening up the series 1-1. Luminous, Trent, and